What's up, folks? It's Lance freaking Hepler with Mowgli. Hi, Mowgli. And where is it? Landon Farnworth. We're here at Portland Trophy Cup, race number 5. It's a beautiful day. Mowgli's eating pine cones, and I'm gonna do the same. Let's go.
Lance! Come on, Lance!
50 plus.
All right, folks, here is the start of the Masters 50 Plus race. We had a few people missing, but a few new names. That's Scott Bradway on my right there. This is his first race of the year. He has been a staple at this series for the last several years, but life and stuff happens, so this is the first time he's made it out. And had a few new other names that we will get to. Up ahead, we've got Joe Santos in the front. He always is a great starter and got off the line pretty good. We've got Joe Reynolds right behind him, and there is Webster Wilson taking the line away from me on the inside. And so I'm going to speed this up because these were kind of long laps tonight with lots of 180 turns and a lot of fun stuff. So this is the start. I'm sitting in fourth here behind Joe and Webster, and I'm just wanting to hang on with these guys as well as I can. I'm feeling a little bit of fatigue of all the racing I've been doing, but what the heck, we'll just send it and see what happens. So lots of 180s, little bit different course tonight. I kind of liked it with all the 180s and many turns. It kind of spread things out pretty good. But I had gotten here early enough today. I did 3 or 4 laps, so I kind of knew where the corners were and the corners that were coming, and had a pretty good idea what was going to happen. Webster Wilson, who is in the red kit, 2 people ahead of me, he was riding this first lap blind, and it came back to bite him right here. This is a very hard, tight corner, and Webster turfs it and spills out Joe Reynolds. So we all had to dismount and run up there. And in the process of doing that, Brian Lynch just whipped past us. Way to go, Brian. He's moving pretty well this year. So I'm sitting back in 5th still on this first lap. And we're just going to try to stay with these guys. We're going through the party zone here. That corner back there where Webster spilled, I think they were calling it Dead Man's Corner. Because lots of people were spilling out right there, which made it kind of fun. Cruising along the backside here, we are going to head to the back part of the course, and Ira set up several off-camber 180s that were pretty much unrideable. And on top of that, they sprayed the sprinkler on this for like an hour beforehand. So it was all wet and a little muddy and a little soggy, and so it was unrideable. You had to run it. So down and 180 and up and 180 and down and 180, and the top of this were 2 barriers that you had to hop over and then remount. And so that was a very awkward part of the course. I never felt like I went fast through there. I don't know if anybody felt like they were fast going through there, but I certainly didn't feel like I would. I felt like I was just slogging, not doing very well. From here, we're cruising over to where the steps are. There's a step overrun, and right about this point, I believe, there's Paul Boursier. So Paul Boursier, he lives down in Eugene, which is a couple hours away. So this is a long way for him to come for a weeknight race. So he hasn't been at any of these races yet this year. But Paul's a very good cyclocross racer. He's in our age group. He's been top 5 at nationals a couple of times. And so we kind of knew when we saw that he was warming up in the parking lot that he would be somebody to keep an eye on. And he got past us here on this, halfway through this first lap. And so the 5 of us were all just trying to kind of hang on to him as best we could. But from here, we're coming up to the other barriers. And after practicing all week, I was able to bunny hop these barriers. And I was freaking stoked that I was able to do it. And here we go. Everybody's dismounting. Weep. And I was able to bunny hop both the barriers, which allowed me to have way faster exit speed and roll right back up to the front guys. So I got around Webster there. I've got Joe Reynolds ahead of me, and Joe Santos and Brian Lynch and Paul Boursier. And now we're all just sitting on Bourcier's wheel. Oh no, Boursier's right there on the left, squeezing me out on that corner. And so we all just we're sitting here biding our time a little bit. Eventually, Boursier just went to the front and went off the front, and the rest of us really couldn't quite stay with him. So, which was fine. So Boursier ended up winning today. He was off the front. And so I was, here we are coming up to the barriers again. That is Joe Santos up ahead of me. He's dismounting. I'm bunny hopping. And you can see with that exit speed, I'm right back up on, I'm right around Joe. This is on the second lap. So Brian Lynch was right in there, but he dropped his chain, so he lost 10 or 15 seconds. That is enough in this race to lose it. Here you can see Joe running, me bunny hopping, and being able to get right back on Joe's wheel. And that's Joe Reynolds right behind me. So here's the awkward part. Every friggin' lap, it was like, am I doing this fast? Do not feel like I'm doing this fast. I feel like I'm like a broken-toed dancer. I couldn't really get over. I don't know. I just felt awkward every friggin' lap, that's part of racing. That's just fine. This is, again, still on the second lap. No, we're on the third lap, and I think Joe gets around me right here. He does. He comes around me right before we go over the barriers again. And he got up ahead of me just a little bit, and this time I'm coming into the barriers and the party zone with some traffic, but I committed and just bunny hopped him anyway, and hallelujah, I never turfed it, and felt pretty good about it. So here we are, moving up on this dead man's curve, and Joe, I've almost caught up to him here. He's on a single speed bike. That's a hard corner on a single speed bike, but Joe's a strong guy. At this point, me and Joe have gotten away from everybody else, other than Paul Boursier, who's off the front. Joe right now is in second. I'm in third. And then Joe Reynolds is behind me just a few seconds, but we had kind of gapped them enough that it was just me and Joe kind of battling for second place here, which certainly made it fun. Joe's a fair racer, I'm a fair racer. We're just kind of having a good time. You can see Joe right ahead of me. This is lap traffic at this point, or we're catching the tail end of the Master 3-4s. Who started behind us today. Today, we were the 50 plus were the first wave to go, so we had clear laps for a few laps until we started to hit the lap traffic. Clearly, Joe is moving through that faster than me. Look he has just gapped me there, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Okay, this is lap 4. I'm coming to the barriers, and this time it took him a little bit faster. A little bit smoother.
There we go.
And I was able to get right back on Joe's wheel. I made up a few seconds right there. From here, we're going to go through, this will be the bell lap. There is one lap to go. Paul is gone. He beat us by 50 seconds. So me and Joe are going to battle for second place. And we're coming into Dead Man's curve right here. We go to the left, and Joe flubs it. Just a little tiny flub, couldn't get back in his pedals quick enough, and that was enough for me to get around him and get about a 5-second gap. And that was it. Joe and I are evenly matched enough that if one of us makes a mistake, the other one is going to capitalize on it. And luckily tonight, I was the one that was able to capitalize on it. And so I ended up in second place. I beat Joe by about 10 seconds or something like that. I think Joe Reynolds was third, and I don't know how it all played out behind me. But of course, this is the last half of the last lap, so I am desperately trying to drill it as fast as I can so that Joe doesn't catch back up to me, and I'm just trying to do it in a way that I don't make a mistake. And so that's kind of how it rolled. And this is, again, I'm going through some lap traffic here, but it all worked out for me. I got over the barriers cleanly. I got over the stairs cleanly. I had a great time tonight. I was super proud of myself for trying to learn this new skill of bunny hopping these barriers, and it worked out for me tonight. Didn't mess them up. I had to slow down a little bit to make it right, but as the night wore on, you just you get more confident, and I felt, better about my ability to be able to do it, and so I just kind of went for it. My arms kind of hurt tonight. You really was like a little violent trying to pull up those bars, and my little sore muscles weren't ready for all that. But there I am finishing second place, and Joe came in right behind me. Well done, Joe. We had a great battle.
One little turf, Dude, I knew you were gonna get me at the end. So, you too. Hey, did I take you out lap one? You hit my rear foot? Is that you? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show you me bunny hopping the barriers in slow motion, and I'm purely doing this so my kids will think I'm cool at some point. It does not look smooth in slow motion, but I believe I was the only 50-year-old doing it tonight, so I'm pretty stoked on that. The rest of the night I spent just watching a few of the other races. Here's Adrian Bosch cheering on his wife and some of the women racers. That's Dead Man's Curve from the other angle. Here's some of the women racers coming through. Just all fantastic. A couple of the announcers always saying funny stuff. It's good to have them out there. It just brings a cooler vibe to the race for sure.
We're gonna rise up. Oh, I needed that. Thank you,
Cody, with that hero move.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that cookie.
I knew I liked the dude with the mustache. Working its way into the dirt. Once that dirt gets really hard packed, the rubber from the tires creates a
River City Bicycles was offering free hot dogs. And here's the Tinskys and Colin Dunlap wolfing down some hot dogs right next to the barriers, enjoying the day. Hey, and then there's the dude in the banana costume clapping along. There used to be two guys in the banana costume. I don't know if they broke up or if there was some kind of fight, but now there's only one guy in the banana costume. There's got to be more to that story, which I don't know. Here's the Cat 1-2s taking off. They were ripping and going fast. Ready? Pump it up. Pump it up. You can do this.
I'm gonna hyperventilate before the race.
You're gonna crash for the first corner.
Pass out.
These are the Master 1-2s just about to go off. These guys were smoking fast too.
Riders ready.
Good on you. And then the track lacrosse. Oh no, wait. Single speed next? Nope. This is the track lacrosse, and they have a single Speedo rule that if you wear a Speedo and declare that you're wearing a Speedo in your single speed, you get double points for the night. And this footage is just about not safe to publish because they were barely covered. So whatever, it kind of makes it fun. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Here's the 1-2 showing you how you're actually supposed to go fast through jumping the barriers and having a good time. So we will race again this weekend. There's a couple cyclocross races this weekend, but until now, thanks for watching.